Okay, what is going on, everybody? RogersBase here, and welcome to my live reaction to One Piece Manga Chapter 1099. I hope you all are having a lovely morning today. It's a little chilly here in LA. I just took Obi out for his morning walk, and I had to put extra layers on. It's finally wintertime, Christmas is a-coming, and obviously Oda's got a couple early presents for us too, just like this chapter. So without any further ado, let's get right in to 1099, the final chapter before One Piece 1100, which I have a feeling is going to be a really good one. I really do feel like that is going to be Kuma's, big return to Egghead. Maybe if by the end of this chapter he ends up an Egghead, then I might be right. If by the end of the chapter he doesn't, we'll see. So let's keep reading. All right. One Piece 1099. This one is called Pacifist, and it says, reader request, raccoon dogs fixing up Odin's hair by Match and Takeshi. I will say, by this point, I feel like everybody in the world knows that raccoon dogs are tanukis. Like, because of Animal Crossing and Tom Nook and Timmy and Tommy, I feel like even mainstream people know what tanukis are now. We don't need to translate that anymore, all right? The people of America need to be cultured. Call them tanukis. Don't call them raccoon dogs. All right, here we go. Let's continue. This is actually very cute, though. Match and Takeshi did a good job. I like this. With the little layers of Oden's hair and them braiding everything up. It's cute. All right. Here we go. You've done enough, Kuma. There's no saving the rest. Come back. You're only going to lose your own life. Kumachi, and you can see the king down over there, okay? Far to the east, another kingdom used this strategy successfully. The celestial dragons praised their beautiful city for being cleansed of all filth. I'm assuming that's supposed to be a reference to Sabo's town. In order to bring about the great bliss and prosperity, a wise king must sometimes steel his heart and enact cruel reforms. King Bakuri. I mean, it looks as brutal as what happened to Sabo's town. Everything's on fire. There's smoke billowing up in the sky. That even the way it opens, how you just start the chapter in the very first shot, you got Kuma and he's screaming and you've got the dark shadows. I always love when Oda does it. Also, chapter's looking real nice. He did a good job with art this week. Okay. The people are mounting a furious resistance. Murderer! Step down at once and put out the fires in the south. But if you kill a handful of them, you'll be rewarded. Who dares defy the king's edict? Step forward, now. Now, who is that? Stop now or be executed. And you've got Kuma. He is not taking any prisoners. Look at this. Okay. Gritting his teeth, again, fully shadowed out. At Kuma's church. Hurry, treat the wounded. Stay inside, Bonney. You don't want to be in the moonlight. Well, I hope you're safe. Dad's always such a chicken. If only you knew, Bonney. If only you knew what a great man your father is. Stop right there. You know what'll happen if you strike the king. You will pay dearly for this, you country bumpkin preacher. Hey, yo! Smack him up, Kuma. Smack him up. I'm ready for you to take this guy down. This incident would come to be known as, wow, look at that, too, with the giant paw print, as the solo revolution of the Sorbet Kingdom. Okay. Look at the destruction there. Blowing up the whole top of the castle. Yo. Back in Sacred Marijoa, I hear there's a new king in Sorbet. Strange. Who is it? So this is obviously how he's going to start getting the title of Tyrant then. The world government's not going to like the fact that he overthrew this King Bagori. All right. Unable to resist the pleas of the people, Kuma became the king of the realm, living out of his old church. And you can see all the people cheering. I think you can stop teasing me now. The one actually control is in the palace. It's the old bulldog. I'm just a figurehead to make the people feel better. So he's actually working in tandem with the old guy, the old king. Back in King Bulldog's day 2 generations ago, times were poor, but we were rich in spirit. Sure was hard not having money to go around, though. Okay. Oh, now Bonnie's already aged herself up? Who's the girl running around the church? Cardio? Wait, what? She looks just as pretty as Ginny was. Ginny? You got him all freaked out. Why are you all so shocked? I have to be ready to go and see the horizon at sea when I turn 10. I have to build up strength for... That was Bonney? Oh, and you can even see the old guy that was with Ginny and crushing on Ginny, who's on Bonnie's squad now going, that was Bonney? What was that transformation? Did you eat a devil fruit? When? When? Wake up, Kumachi. And you got her falling back down to the ground, reverting. Is this it? The age fruit? But where did she... Try doing it with your mind. And she's sitting there trying to transform. Get older, get older. Stop that, Bonney. You're going to wear yourself out. Meanwhile, King Kuma, please, your majesty, grant us an audience. I also think it's funny that they don't focus on her actually getting the fruit. They just kind of went right through it. Bypassed the whole thing. They kind of did it like Luffy a little bit too. We're like, just 1 second, if you're not paying attention, all of a sudden you got devil fruit powers. Please, your majesty, grant us an audience. And meanwhile, she turned into a wrinkled old bag. It really worked thinking about it. She's hideous. It's not working. It's too hard to get older. Who are you? Oh, wait a minute. Uh-oh. Wait, that wasn't Bonney. Wait a minute. I got tricked too. Hold on. Who are you, mister? Is that like the old king's wife? You must be Princess Bonney then. My name is Bulldog. I'm something like an aide to your father. Okay, the former king, King Bulldog. I have weighty matters to discuss. And I see my mother is already here. Oh, no. Oh, no. She's Connie, the one-time Queen Dowager. Well, obviously, we know where Bonney gets her old lady transformation then. She gets it from this Connie. And that also explains, too, the whole thing with the Sorbet Kingdom Connie Oda box back during the Reverie as well, which is funny. That is really cute. That's cute. My mother's already here, I see. I like that. King Bakori's coming back. Now look at the nonsense in this article. I'm certain Bagori is set up. I mean, really, seized the throne with violence by burning villages. He's trying to overthrow us from abroad. You can see now they're labeling him wicked dictator. It means that he has the world government on his side. Bakori will be back to take control, mark my words. And there's intel that he's preparing battleships. I thought Bakori died, though, when he sent... Oh, I guess... Okay. I guess not. Okay. I'm just going to keep reading. I just assumed if you're an old dude and you're chilling in a castle and then Kuma drops a giant paw print on you filled with pain. There you go. We can't have Bakori coming back here, though. He'll have us killed this time. Don't worry. He won't set a single toe within this country again. Whatever he tries to bring back with him, I'll drive it all away. But once that happens, I'll be seen as a criminal. I won't be able to stay here anymore. And once that happens, I'll need you to be king, Bulldog. Would you take Bonney under your wing in that case? Even this church will be in danger. All right, I'll find her a place with the same conditions. Bonney, be a good girl while I'm gone. I'll be back when I'm able. And you got the king again. The thing with his mom is actually like a legitimately really funny gag. Where Kuma's picking up talking to Connie. And Bulldog's like, put my mom down, bro. Bonnie's back to normal going, you're leaving? Well, I'll miss you. Oh, man. All right, that's him, Navy. Kill him. He's the man who stole the Sorbet Kingdom from me. A true tyrant, he said it, who's committed all manner of atrocities. So, based on how the chapter is kind of going right now, it feels like I was right last week. And everything that we were talking about in regards to like this chapter probably being the setup to how he gets the name Tyrant and then leading us into Egghead Island, that is most likely what we're getting here then. Unless something drastic happens in the second half of the chapter, this is that. So, man, okay, good call from us. Kill him now, for I am the true king. You were a fool to show your face around here again. But naturally, Kuma sank all the ships. There we go. I wish we would have seen that, though. I wish we would have seen Kuma throwing more paw prints and sinking all the Marine ships. So is that King Bakori finally dead now? Hopefully. He sank all the ships and fled to sea. A bounty was placed on his head. And through his pirate reputation and great strength, its value swelled over time. We're not seeing his bounty. And Bonnie's with Connie. I wish Daddy was here. I want to see him again. Well, I'm sorry, Bonnie dear. But remember, Kuma is the hero who saved this land. And she's like, I don't care. He's my dad. Once I'm 10 and I'm all better, I'll be a pirate too. Don't do it, dear. Come on, I could turn into a grown-up. Okay. Meanwhile, have you seen this disease before? She can't be in sunlight, the poor thing. Where is he right now? Is that the island he sent Chopper? With the giant trees? Oh no, that's... Wait a minute, wait. Abdullah and Jeet, wait, what? Abdullah and Jeet, I spy a hot bounty. Aren't you Kuma? He met Abdullah and Jeet from Dressrosa? Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. Oh. Is he visiting all the places he sent the Straw Hats? Because then that's Chopper's. The one down on the bottom of page 10 is definitely Brooks, because that's like the little tribal guys from Brooks who were trying to summon Satan. Then you've got, that's obviously Mihawk's Island. That's Future Island. There's Tequila Wolf. That's Witheria. So he's exploring all the islands he sent the Straw Hats to try to find the cure for Bonney. There's Hercules, too, from Usopp's. She won't see her 10th birthday. Your daughter has 5 years to live at best. So this is him exploring the world looking for a cure. That is a cool little Easter egg that Oda threw in. I love that. That explains how he knew all the right places to send all the Straw Hats. There's the different places he stopped on his journey to try to find Bonnie's cure. Oh, I love that a lot. Meanwhile, now he's back with Dragon. You got young Bello Betty, Morley. Hey there, Kuma. Eva and Inazuma. Oh, and this is setting up Impel Down. Eva and Inazuma were thrown in prison. And since I last saw you, you've been a king, a tyrant, and a pirate, huh? You got Bello Betty sitting on his shoulder, Dragon drinking with him. It must have come as a surprise to you. Nobody in the Revolutionary Army took those articles seriously, of course. Kuma, can I be the captain of the Eastern Forces? He's like, why are you asking me, Betty? Well, Dragon says the position eternally belongs to Ginny until you give permission for it to be replaced. So, it's going to take a foul-mouthed woman to run the Eastern Forces? I don't mind. He said you got the spirit of Ginny. So it's always got to be a girl. I wonder if that's... I'm cooking for a second. I wonder if that's maybe meant to be a little bit of a teaser for things to come then. If obviously Ginny had that position and now she has the position, I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know when it would take place, but obviously knowing the ties with Bonney and the Revolutionaries and everything now and Ginny, I'm almost wondering if something happens to Bello Betty during some type of revolutionary confrontation and then Bonney replaces her on the Revolutionary Army. I don't know. Or she gives up the seat as the head of the Eastern Army, or something happens to one of the other ones and Bello Betty takes theirs. I don't know. Interesting. Let's keep reading. Sabo, Koala, and the others all want to see you too. We have many promising young members rising through the ranks, and I want to show them off to you. I've seen what's happening around the world, and I often wondered what you would have done, Dragon. I want to return to the fold, but... Bonney? Well, as a matter of fact, I actually wanted to talk to you about her. You're aware of the Navy scientist Dr. Vegapunk, aren't you? Okay, this is going to be how he gets the cure then. After the recent accident, he's going to transfer to a new lab. Now, ordinarily, he's kept under heavy security, but he's more approachable during the transition. So this, I'm assuming, is going to be... It says... after the recent accident, this is going to be the Punk Hazard accident. Whatever the thing was that Caesar did that blew everything up, that has got to be this. It's also interesting to hear them talking about Sabo and Koala because, again, in my mind, right, she's reaching her 10th birthday. Bonnie's about to reach her 10th birthday. She's working towards that right now. Meanwhile, when she is 10, she will get to Sabaody because she's 12 modern day. So when she eventually gets there, that's going to be when the Straw Hats and everybody get to Sabaody for the first time. So Sabo and Koala are now training and are around the same age as Luffy now within the Revolutionary Army. It's weird to see them throw around things like this because, again, to me, with all of the stuff that's happening in this flashback, it's somehow difficult for me to still process that this is happening very, 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 very close to when the beginning of the story actually was. Like, a lot of the flashbacks that happen, those flashbacks happen way in the past, or like 10 years in the past. This one, or like when Law was a kid or whatever, this one is happening around the time that we're starting the story. Because he's getting close. He's going to all the different islands looking for the cure for Bonney. Okay, let me just continue. Thank you, Dragon. In all honesty, I've given it up for Lost, so I'll go and speak with him. But if I can just cure Bonnie's disease, I would be happy to fight with you again. May the winds of fate guide us well, my friend. Good line from Dragon. Okay. Meanwhile, you got Bonney punching out this guy. I was going easy on her. And boom, and her shirt says live to eat too. Bonney, that was amazing. All right, so he's coming to get Bonney. Naval Science Division Lab 8, later known as Egghead. Where are we? We're seeing a doctor to get a checkup before your disease is healed. And here's Vegapunk. Also, this is before Vegapunk creates the little satellite in his head too then. Because his head is still normal and long. I've never seen a man like you before. Well, I was just thinking the same thing. And you can see Kuma holding Bonney in the little... Wow, look at his head. It's gross. What a body. You have to let me study your muscles. For science, of course. And that's your sickly daughter? Well, she's kind of a brat, huh? I don't mind a little lip, though. So sapphire scales. You've done well to limit them for so long. She'll survive. She will? You got sent tomorrow over there, too?
Keep me company for a while.
Hey, thank you very much to Hollow Avarice for donating. I got to turn off my my desktop audio for the time being, though, because I don't want words going off with donations while I'm streaming. But appreciate it. Thank you very much. So we got sent tomorrow with Bonney. I'll use some medical tech that I've been holding back from the public market. Easy enough. Technically speaking, I'll be generating new stem cells and transplanting them. It's about as much work and cost as creating a cyborg. Well, she'll turn into a cyborg then? No, it'll cost as much, I said. Now tell me, and he's looking at his files, are you a buccaneer? Yes. You know I'm with the government, don't you? Well, I trust the dragon wouldn't put me in any danger. Now, what makes my blood different than other people's? Well, I don't have enough of a sample size to explain. They're kind of flying through this dialogue. You want to make clones of me, to go from that to that. You want to make clones of me. I've been looking for the right person to be the base for my clone soldiers. Just provide me with blood samples and permission to create clone soldiers. And I'll cover the immense entire cost of Bonnie's operation. I'm assuming you can't pay for it yourself. All right, and there it is. There it is. So he did give up his body for Bonnie's cure then. All right. I won't be declining the offer either way. But what will you do with the clones? Meanwhile, Bonnie's still sitting with Sentomaro. All these soldiers that look just like me, will they be in the Navy? That's right. Tell me, do you like electromagnetic energy? When they see a human being shooting laser beams, those pirates will go mute with shock. They'll be laid low by overwhelming powers of science. My soldiers' bodies will be hard as shields, deflecting bullets and saving the populace. They'll be heroes to the common man, the mighty warriors from the future. And then, he's an odd man, but true to his desires and trustworthy. And he's thinking back to what Dragon said. That's what Dragon said about me? The nerve! Perhaps if clone soldiers based on me save other people's lives, then my own life will have meant something. Dragon's going to be furious about the terms, though. Well, I'm nothing but grateful to you both. I would make a deal with you to save Bonney's life, even if you were the devil himself. So please, just save Bonney. You're a true saint. And then back in Sacred Marijoa, clone soldiers are weapons, and weapons are valued by how many they can kill. Vegapunk would let a golden opportunity slip through his fingers. But I have a plan to deal with this. So Saturn is the one who's going to screw up the programming. As you say, my lord. So Vegapunk, with his clones, did want to do something good. And see, this is going to be all the more reason for Kuma to be the one, when he arrives on Egghead, throwing the pain out of his body into Saturn. All the more reason for Kuma to be the one to put him down. If Saturn messed this whole thing up for Vegapunk and for Kuma, where they actually wanted to do something good. I have a plan to deal with this, as you say, my lord. Meanwhile, you got Kuma and Vegapunk still having this conversation. They're happy as can be. A saint? I'm nothing like that. I'm just a weak-willed pacifist. And you got Vegapunk laughing. Pip, 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 pip. I like that. I think I'll use that for the name of my future soldiers. To be continued, 1099, and we find out where the name of the Pacifistas comes from. It comes from Kuma. Okay. Interesting. Because it says here, if I'm reading this correctly, he's talking about the whole thing of Bonnie's operation costing as much as being turned into a cyborg. And then Kuma was just being used as a, if I'm reading this correctly, is being used as a base of clones, right? With the blood samples. So the cyborg thing had nothing to really do with this. So I'm curious what Saturn's plan is going to be to then turn him into a cyborg. This is very, very interesting. Because then again, knowing what we know now with the stuff with the clones, and thinking back to, Stussy, and thinking back to the other experiments, and Stussy being the first successful one, at this point, he's already made successful clones. Interesting. Overall, I liked this chapter, but I will say one thing. I feel like, and I don't know if this was just a matter of him wanting to sort of skip through stuff because we've been in this flashback for a while and because he knows that we know a lot of this backstory already. I feel like the dialogue in this one was kind of all over the place. I feel like they were chopping through certain scenes. Like someone would say something and we'd already be at the next topic. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What were these characters just talking about? Why are we already here? And again, I feel like he's maybe flying through this stuff and chopping these sequences up so that he can get to whatever it's going to be in 1100. But again, I feel like they're chopping through things. And in this chapter, I feel like he was doing it not in a way where he was sort of like identifying what the next scene was going to be. Because I feel like whenever he does that, I don't mind so long as there's an Oda box telling us where we are. And he does that in the first half of the chapter with like the at Kuma's church after the incident. And then back at Sacred Marijoa. Just something that can separate the scenes. But I think like the dialogue in some of the scenes when they're in the same location was kind of going all over the place. That's my only criticism for the chapter. But otherwise, I like this conversation with Vegapunk. I thought the gag with Connie was actually really genuinely funny. Where they have King Bulldog's mother going there, and then Bonney trying to be like an old woman and then turning into that. Sleepy Time says, I agree now. 1100 probably is the end of the flashback and will show Kuma at Egghead. Totally agree. I think that's for sure where it is. I think exactly what we've been saying for the past 3 or 4 chapters is coming to a head next week. I really do think that's what this is going to be. Yeah. A lot to think about before chapter 1100 says poof. What is Saturn going to do? Is it as streamlined as we think? Yeah, I don't know. I think Saturn obviously is going to have something to do with the cyborg stuff that's going to turn Kuma into, you know, a living weapon and eventually not make him human anymore. Obviously, Saturn's going to have a role to play in that. But again, I feel like because Bonney has seen these memories, because she saw all of Kuma's memories prior to when she stabbed Saturn in that scene a couple chapters ago, she already knows what's going to happen. Which is why she probably also isn't as mad at Vegapunk anymore in the same way she was. So she knows, obviously, Vegapunk is going to do something because they're experimenting and taking the blood. But she knows Vegapunk ultimately isn't the one to blame. And that the one to blame is Saturn. Interesting stuff. I like it. Yeah, I don't know, I liked the stuff with Dragon. I like that line, may the winds of fate guide us, my friend. Very good. Once again, alluding to maybe potentially something with like a wind power for Dragon. I like that. I also loved the Easter eggs that happened earlier in the chapter too, where he goes to all the different islands that he sent the Straw Hats. I thought that was great. Seeing Witheria, you know, trying to find the cure for Bonney and going to the island where Hercules on it, going to the island with the tribal guys. I like that a lot. I also think the art was really good this chapter. I like seeing young Bello Betty and Bello Betty taking the role of Ginny in the past. The only thing was they kind of skipped through where Bonney got her devil fruit, but I wish we would have seen where she got it. Maybe there's like a scene at some point that I missed, but I don't know. Like I'm looking, was there anything that happened in the background in one of the earlier scenes when she's talking about her dad, where you see her going to go eat a devil fruit? I don't see one. They're obviously looking into the books where it goes, this is it, the age fruit, where did she get it? And then it just cuts out. I am very curious where she got it. Maybe she got it from King Bakori? Like from when he destroyed the castle at the very beginning? I don't know. I'll leave that to speculation to you guys. Overall, though, I thought this was a pretty good chapter. I like this. Yeah. Can't wait for the next one. 1100 is going to be a banger. I agree. Insert name here said, I actually think Bonney got her devil fruit because she dreamed to grow up. So much so that a nearby fruit turned itself into the age fruit. Oh, yeah, because we know that devil fruits come from people's dreams. That's maybe a cool idea. I like that. Maybe that's why they didn't show it then. Because we know already now that devil fruits come from people's dreams. Maybe they didn't show it because maybe she was sitting down and dreamed so hard and then, yeah. Ah, I like that. But the age fruit is in the book already. So there can't be 2 of them running around and somebody else must have also had that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. What I am sure of, though, is I'm very thankful. I am very, very thankful to our sponsor this week over at Uplift Desk. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some super chats and whatever James did for the thumbnail this week. So we will be right. Here's how Uplift Desk completely refreshed my stream setup. I've been in the market for a standing desk for a while now since I spend so much of my day at my computer streaming. So after looking at some reviews, I reached out to Uplift Desk to see if they'd be interested in helping me make the jump, and they ended up being incredibly cool. Not only did they walk me through all their different customization options, they sent me their curved bamboo style standing desk and a ton of amazing accessories. I got this awesome flush keyboard attachment that instantly freed up a ton of my desk space that would normally be taken up by a keyboard. These great little desk organizers that keep my coasters and pens in their proper place, powered desk grommets with plugs in them so I could charge my phone and plug in whatever else I need. And then after I told them I do manga live reaction streams, they even sent over an adjustable tablet stand that I could read on instead of needing an extra monitor. They even gave me a sleek bamboo motion board so I can boost my circulation during long streaming sessions. And of course, at any time, I can simply click a button and move my desk from a sitting position to a standing one. Thanks, Uplift Desk. Here's I just realized I wasn't talking. Thank you once again to Uplift Desk for sponsoring the stream. Greatly appreciate it. Technically, they had actually sponsored another video, And then I was like, as a thank you, I basically was like, oh, I'll put it on this stream as well. But yeah, the standing desk is incredible. I'm literally using it right now. You can't see it because I'm sitting, but it's great. I got my little coasters over here with the little Nintendo images on them. They didn't send the little Nintendo coasters. These were from a previous Nintendo unboxing. But this is like the little coaster holder. And yeah, I love them. And I think the one other thing I want to bring up in regards to Uplift before we move on and before we take a look at James's thumbnail, the one other quick thing I want to bring up in regards to Uplift is that a lot of the time, you know, sponsors will reach out to me to work with them. This time, I reached out to them because I knew that I wanted a standing desk and I did a bunch of research and looked into things. And so I was the one who reached out to them in the first place. So yeah, I can vouch for them. They're awesome. Uplift Desk is great. Okay, now, looking at James's thumbnail this week, it looks like he went all internet meme with it and did Kuma and Vegapunk doing the Predator meme with with the two guys in the muscles. Okay, that is hysterical. I don't know where my face is going to fit in that thumbnail, but I like it. I might not even put my face in the thumbnail this week. I might just leave it as is. This is a good one. I don't always have to have my face in every thumbnail. I think this is good. This is standalone on its own with the two of them working together. Unfortunately, again, Saturn is going to throw a wrench in their plans. So, unfortunately, Kuma and Vegapunk, they might be working together right now. They might be very happy. But alas, it's not going to last for long, unfortunately. That is genuinely super funny, though. He did a great job this week with this. I wonder why he chose to do this, though. I'm curious. I'm going to look at his artist notes. Let me pull this up. That is very good, though. All right, let me see this. So James says, I've actually never memed it up for a thumbnail before, but this is what came to my head after reading the chapter. I hope Roger doesn't beat me with a pillowcase full of bars of soap. I'm not going to beat you up. Come on. I think they did a good job with this. I got Pillow Sama right over here, but don't worry. I'm not going to be beating you up. This is great. I tried my best at a painterly version of the Predator handshake moment, but with Kuma and Vegapunk. Because I didn't leave room for your face, I included pieces of the picture in case you want to scoot it over and push it closer together. Oh, you put those in the drive? Wait, let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see. I'll look in the drive link. I'm glad that he thought of that because he knew that I would have said that. Oh, I'm not seeing the pieces. Oh, 1099 assets. Oh, nice. You separated them. Very, very, very good. Good work, James. Good work. Thank you for doing that. Good. I'm absolutely enjoying the lore of Egghead, and I'm super excited to see where it all ends up. It was really cool to see the young Bello Betty, but I must ask, whose transponder snail was that near the end? James. That's a good question, actually. Wait a minute. At the end of the chapter. Oh. So this is on page 17 in Marijoa, where they're listening in. Clone soldiers are weapons, and weapons are valued by how many they can kill. And you've got a black transponder snail down there with what appears to be like teeth. Vegapunk wouldn't let a golden opportunity slip through his fingers, but I have a plan to deal with this. As you say, my lord. Yeah, who would that be? That was Saturn Snail listening in? No, but he's talking to somebody. Because someone says, as you say, my lord, to Saturn. It almost looks like it would be Magellan's, doesn't it? Saturn's wiretapping, so I assume it's just a bug from the lab. Right, someone says that line, though. No, I understand that's not the snail, but I'm saying, who is that that's talking to him? I'm curious. I'm not really sure. Saturn is definitely wiretapping. Maybe Garling? Maybe Garling will interfere on behalf of Saturn? Oh, maybe. That would be kind of interesting if Garling shows up and appears in all of this as well. Alv said, yeah, to clarify, the person speaking is not the one on the snail. I think the person saying the line is the man who told Saturn about Kuma. Right, the person who came in talking on Sacred Marijoa. Right, for sure. I did think this was a very good chapter, though. Like, looking back on it, there's a lot of interesting information. I could potentially see a world in which people would not like this one. because of the choppiness and because it's really heavily focused on exposition. But I think this is all important information to have. And in fact, I think it went kind of quick. And I liked all the little Easter eggs with him traveling to the different islands. I liked the stuff with Abdullah and Jeet even there too. The one that you're talking about is the Vice Admiral from earlier who looks like Foxy. Yeah, the one that was talking about the new king in the Sorbet Kingdom, right? He does kind of look like Foxy a little bit, the way that his hair is back. How funny would it be if he actually was Foxy, if Foxy at some point was in the Marines? What if Kuma's flashback in 1100 ends up turning into a Foxy flashback? That would certainly be an interesting way to take the story. I don't know. Vice Admiral Silver Fox Foxy, yo, that is funny. All right, well, let me read some of these theories and some of these super chats. Lizard super chatted and said, "Did you see the Luffy at the parade? Not only did I see it, I did a full video on my YouTube channel about it. So make sure to check out that video." Yeah. Hollow Avarice said, "I love that this chapter shows us a little more of Dragon's personality and shows that he is indeed very sentimental. He kind of feels like a more mature Luffy. A little bit, yeah. And he is. I mean, we always knew Dragon was a nice guy, though, for the most part. Obviously, he left his kid, but at the end of the day, he still wants what's best for the people. So, and I do like that little scene of him drinking with Kuma and Bello Betty and with Morley. The only thing is, who is the... We've seen the little Humpty Dumpty guy before, right? Didn't we see him as like one of the second in commands of the Revolutionary Army during the stuff with the Reverie? I forgot his name already. I guess it's not really super important. We're not going to be seeing them again, but either way, we're not going to see him for a while. We got another comment. This one comes from Philip Hazard Pro, donating and saying, "The theory that the Celestial Dragons fed Bonney the Devil Fruit at birth makes me hate them even more. Because when could she have gotten it?" Well, again, I mean, it must have happened at some point within this. Like, she obviously didn't have it before. I don't think they would have fed it to her at birth. Because we would have seen these powers before. Unless she was fed it, didn't know how to awaken her powers, and then all of a sudden, through working while Kuma was gone, ends up getting it. You have to keep in mind, too, that maybe she was fed the fruit as a baby, and that's how she wouldn't know how to use it. It would have only been a couple years ago. I feel like someone had the fruit, and when Kuma took out the king and the person died, it transferred for a fruit nearby. And Alf says she was a literal baby when she was with the Celestial Dragon, so it makes sense to me. Plus, last week's chapter was unfinished. True. That seems like something that might come up in an SBS in the future. Maybe that it's not super important to the story as to how she gets it, but it's important that she activates it at this point. Like, we need to see at this point with the stuff with Connie and with the stuff with King Bulldog that she's able to utilize the powers. But I guess he needed to just breeze by it because it wasn't super important for when we got there in the story. Maybe. Paul Glansman super chatted and said, "Imagine if that theory about the original Joy Boy being a buccaneer ends up being true. That means the government made an army of slaves of the last of his kind." Interesting. And Sixlet's in here as well. Nice to see Sixlet saying, "I really think Kuma's probably dying soon. Who do you think is going to get the devil fruit? Do you subscribe to the theory that it'll be Vivi, or that the fruit will grow on Nami's tree?" 100%. Yes, I am absolutely. I've been saying this for 10, 12, 20 weeks at this point. I am absolutely part of the group that believes Vivi is going to get the fruit, and that I think Nefertari Lily was the originator of Kuma's devil fruit, and that somehow it ended up in the hands of the government, which is how it ended up on God Valley, which is how Kuma got it, which is what led to all this in the first place. I really do think Nefertari Lily had Kuma's devil fruit. She used the devil fruit to send the poneglyphs all throughout the world. She died. The government got control of the fruit. Jumped to Kuma getting it. Jumped to, everything that leads to the story. Now, as for another person on the crew getting it, if it isn't Vivi, I think it would be interesting if Frankie got it. simply because Frankie obviously, he studied Vegapunk's stuff. He has that connection to Vegapunk. Kuma has that connection to Vegapunk. I think it might be kind of interesting if Frankie had it, but Frankie straight up said that he doesn't want a devil fruit in Dressrosa. Because remember, Luffy offered the Mera Mera no Mi to Frankie. He's like, go enter the thing, go get the fruit. And Frankie's like, I don't really want it. I like being able to swim. So I don't know. But I do think by the end of Egghead, I do think Kuma dies. I do think Kuma gets his revenge against Saturn after he arrives. And I do think that when he dies, the devil fruit goes to the Straw Hats. I do. I don't know. I mean, I love the idea that finally it pays off the thing about the tangerine trees and that the fruit would transfer to the tangerine trees on the Sunny. But I've been saying that for years and years and years. You can go back to one of my earliest theory videos, was the theory video talking about Carrot getting the devil fruit of Monet, and that Monet's devil fruit transferred through the little bunnies, the little snow bunnies underneath the, underneath the Thousand Sunny as they left Punk Hazard, and that then an actual literal bunny would get the snow bunny fruit. I liked that idea, but alas, that did not end up happening. But I do see a situation in which the fruit could transfer to the tangerine tree on the Sunny, for sure. Yeah. And I do think it's going to happen at some point. I think we will have another Straw Hat with Kuma's devil fruit, because again, that SBS from all those years ago, with the names of the characters that are all in the crew already and how it lines up with the numbers 1 through 10, and the Hito Hito no Mi, the Hana Hana no Mi, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, the Yomi Yomi no Mi. I think it just makes a lot of sense that the Nikyu Nikyu would also go to somebody. I do think Vivi would be the best choice, though, because again, if Vivi is a spinning image of Lily and Lily had Kuma's fruit, bada bing, bada boom, it makes a lot of sense. I know Chen Seal did that really cool art of Vivi dressed up like a cat. And the whole thing is that, like, as people, every time someone thinks of the pawpaw fruit, they always imagine a cat. This goes back to, like, when Robin thought about it for the first time. This happened, I think, recently as well, with someone else thinking about it, with the little cat. And how cats are important to Egyptian mythology. And obviously, Alabasta is based on ancient Egypt. So I think there's too many things lining up for Vivi to get the fruit. Yeah. So that's my guess. I do think Vivi is going to get it. Yeah. And I think it would make a lot of sense for the story. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a good power jump for her to eventually reunite with the Straw Hats, to be able to, utilize Kuma's fruit. That would be cool. Because I don't think Vivi's been training her hockey over the time skip. And she needs something to go in line strength-wise with the other characters that are on the crew. And I'm not saying that everybody on the crew has hockey, because obviously they don't. But I do think it would be cool to have her have the devil fruit, for sure. It's all coming together. Exactly. Just like the Crunk meme. Insert name here super chatted twice and said, I do think Bonney got her devil fruit because she dreamed to grow up so much that a nearby fruit itself turned into the age fruit, which is what we talked about a little bit earlier in the stream. Hollow Avarice super chatted and said, we know devil fruits have wills of their own, so maybe they're drawn to people whose dreams match the power. Aging up for Bonney, freedom for Luffy. Interesting. I like the idea that the devil fruits almost choose the people that control them. That's kind of nice. I like that. Sylvan super chatted and said, I love the little box that Kuma holds Bonney in on page 14, and I absolutely can't wait for 1100. Any last minute speculation on what might happen? Are we going to see the incident on Egghead? Yeah, I really, really think I subscribe to the idea that 1100 is where the flashback ends. I think next chapter, we have to see whatever Saturn does to mess things up and turn Kuma into a living weapon. That's going to have to be next chapter. As for what exactly that would be, I have no real idea. I don't know. But I do think that is going to be next chapter. Thank you, by the way, to Lucky98 for becoming a member as well. Nakama, greatly appreciate that. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, but I think that is going to be the primary thing of next chapter. And I think, if I could speculate for a second, which of course I can, because it's my stream, and I got 1,000-something people in here talking to me right now, so I might as well. I think Oda's not going to pass up the opportunity to show whatever devastating thing Saturn does to turn Kuma into a living weapon and to turn Vegapunk's clones into, you know, a distorted version of themselves. I think we're going to see what Saturn did, and we're going to be disgusted by what Saturn did. And that is going to take us to present day. And present day, as Saturn is about to kill Bonney or is about to kill the Straw Hats, you see Kuma land right in front of him, half blown off face from Akainu, land directly in front of Saturn and confront him directly. And I think that is going to be where the chapter ends. I think it transitions out of whatever horrible thing Saturn did into Kuma landing at Egghead. And then you get like the little responses from everyone being like, oh my God, Kuma, you see Bonney going, daddy, you see all of this. And that's the end of the chapter. And then that leads into, you know, because that'll be what? The last chapter of the year, won't it be? Because this is the last chapter for November. The next chapter is the 2nd. We're going to have the break. Is there a break next week, or are we going into the next chapter? Does anybody know? Here, let me look on Manga Plus, because Viz doesn't tell me all the time. Let me see. Manga Plus. I know Manga Plus will tell me. My phone is going off like crazy. What the heck? I got to check this a little later. One Piece on Manga Plus, it says the next chapter is Sunday. So no break. Okay, so it is coming on the 3rd. So next Sunday, we will have another chapter. No break. Okay. Huh. That throws a wrench in things then. If there's not a chapter after the next chapter, because let me look at this. 11/26, then the 3rd. No break. I assume there will be a break on the 10th. I assume we'll get one on the 17th. And then he goes on Christmas break. 24th, there's no chapter, because that's also Jump Festa week. There won't be a chapter. And then presumably we'll get one. Maybe he'll do one New Year's Day? Maybe? Or New Year's Eve? I don't know. It's lining up at a weird time this year. I do think there will be a 2-week break, though. I think we're going to get a 2-week break at some point leading into the next year. I don't know. I think we are going to get one more chapter. I would have assumed that Oda would have ended with 1100 as well, Sleepy Times, but I don't think that's the case. I think we are going to get at least one more afterwards. I think we're going to get 2 next month. Which actually, if we get 2 next month, maybe next chapter the flashback ends, Kuma arrives in Egghead, we see whatever Saturn did. Final chapter of the year is maybe Kuma versus Saturn. And then first chapter of next year is maybe Kuma's death. I don't know. Either way, we're ending the year very, very strong, and we're starting the year strong regardless. Whatever happens next, it's going to be good, I feel like. I do feel like 1102 will probably be the final chapter of the year if he doesn't end up taking another break. The only thing, the reason why I think there's going to be 2 in December is because Jump Festa is happening. We're going on a break for the holidays. And it's going to be New Year's. And with 2 chapters in a row, I think he's going to want a break afterwards. I don't think he's going to go 3 chapters at a time. I think he did that, and that basically is what caused him to be super tired and to release the last chapter unfinished. Yeah, Jump Festa is the week after next week. Exactly. So this upcoming week, we're going to get a new chapter. Jump Festa is the week afterwards, and I think there'll be a break. And he always has his author comments and stuff, and I'm sure we're going to talk about that. I'm sure we'll discuss that on stream. We might even do a Jump Festa reaction stream or something. Yo, what the heck? Wait. What the heck is this? 1,000? Wait. What is going on here? Abdullah donated $1,099? What currency is that? It's AED. It comes out to about $300. Bro! We were about to end the stream, and this man comes through, Abdallah comes through with a $300 donation right at the very end of the stream. Oh, the reason why he donated it is because the chap... Bruh! Hey, thank you very, very, very much. Activating the beach party. Holy mackerel. Wow. Thank you very, very, very much. I see there's people in the chat who've never seen that emote before or that alert before. But yeah, that alert happens every time you donate over $100. Wow. Okay. Yeah, he did $10.99 for the chapter. That's totally what he did. Dude, Abdallah, thank you again, man. Appreciate that. Now, let me read what you said. He said, we saw all the locations, but we haven't seen Luffy's and Sanji's. Sanji is where Ivankov went, and Luffy went to Amazon Lily. Do you think maybe the reason why we didn't see the locations is related to Dragon? There's a theory that Luffy's mom was the Empress before Boa and after Shaki, and that old lady Neon left because she liked rocks. Shaki likes silver, and the missing one may be Dragon's woman. Ooh! That is really, really interesting, actually. I like that. Yeah, I guess but, You know what? I do really like that. I'm going to tell you why I like this a lot. Sixlet saying, so Luffy would be half Kuja if that was the case. I like this because then it means Boa and Luffy ain't ended up together. It means that Boa can be with Bartolomeo and Luffy can be with Vivi. Or like the guy, well, I still don't subscribe to Luffy and Vivi ending up together at the ending. But I do like the idea of Vivi choosing Luffy as her husband. Because again, the only person who's ever had Pirate Queen merchandise ever was Vivi. They wouldn't be blood related though, Roger. I know they wouldn't be blood related, but they'd be like cousins kind of. It'd be weird. Bardo and Boa, let's go. We're winning. Stocks are going up. Look, I love it. I absolutely love it. I also really do like the idea that is maybe why we didn't see Luffy's mother, and that's why we didn't see it here, is that Kuma already had visited. I love that, actually. I really, 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 really love that. And like you said, yeah, he obviously knew Ivankov was in the Okama Kingdom, naturally. So he wouldn't have needed to travel there, because of course he would have known that because of Eva. That also is kind of interesting, and maybe he would have modeled his ship after his wife's old ship. You mean with the masthead looking kind of like a snake or a dragon? Ah, interesting. Do you think maybe, what if, I love that concept, whoever just brought that up in the chat. What if Dragon's ship originally belonged to his wife, who was the previous empress of the Kuja pirates? She dies, and Dragon takes the ship and turns it into the head ship of the Revolutionary Army and converts the snake on front to a dragon to be the symbol of the revolution. I kind of like that. I like that because it does have like a snake-like neck. It does look a little like Boa's ship, because where's the Boa ship model? I have it right over here. This is the Twin Snake ship. Take a look at this. Okay, this is what the Twin Snake ship looks like. The Kuja pirate ship. If you look at that and compare it to the ship of dragons, right? Imagine one of these gone, and then imagine one of these painted black with the scales down it and the horns. You could easily convert the snake on the front to be a dragon. I actually really, really love that idea. And I also kind of like that idea too, because on the off chance Luffy and Boa do end up together, I like the idea that his father also fell in love with someone from the from Amazon Lily. I love that a lot. I think that's a really, really cool theory. Good work, Abdallah. Great work. If that ends up getting confirmed, Abdullah will definitely need to get a shout out in that chapter. Looking into it, Shaggy is 64 and Dragon is 55. So how old would Luffy's mom be? When did Shaggy leave? Do we know? Let's look this up real quick. Shaggy, Amazon Lily. Let's see. When exactly did she leave? She obviously leaves because of Rayleigh. She loves Rayleigh. Fond of teasing Chopper. History. Summit War. Okay. In the past, Empress of Amazon Lily. She gave up the life 42 years ago to open the bar. Okay. I'd imagine Luffy's mom would be like 30-something. 30-something? The Kuja always fall in love with dangerously powerful people. They do indeed. Yeah, if Old Lady Neon and Kaido's child... Wait, what? Wait, what? If Old Lady Neon and Kaido's child is Yamato theory ends up being right, then Luffy is the only boy from Amazon Lily, which is wild, because he might be compared to as a child of prophecy. That he was the only one born a boy? Like a Ganondorf type situation? We do have the stuff with the Gerudo, obviously, where Ganondorf is like the one that's born every 1,000 years or something. You're saying Luffy is Ganondorf? Would be the reverse of that. Luffy wouldn't be evil. Literally, Sixlet already donated what I was going to say. Sixlet said, can't Kuja only give birth to girls, so Luffy is a Ganondorf situation. See, there you go. But the only thing is, if a former empress gave birth to Luffy, I feel like that somehow, some way, would have been relayed to the people in Amazon Lily. That they would have known about that. Right? That they would have known that there would have been a boy born of them. Luffy doesn't care, so I doubt it. I don't know, though. It's not that Luffy wouldn't care, it's that his mother. I just don't think Dragon would let just anyone know about his son. He wants to keep him safe, too. I guess that's true. That's why he's in the East Blue, and that's why Dragon's always looking over to the East. It's giving me stuff to think about, for sure. Chris donated and said, since it's at the same time, at the start of the story, we don't know what the other Cypher Pole agents were doing, since it looks like it could likely be Jobra's snail. The one at the very ending? That didn't really look like Jobra's snail to me. The one at the very ending kind of looks like, almost like a Magellan snail. I know it's like a wiretap, but it looks like something that Magellan would have, doesn't it? With the all black and then like the teeth and the way of the mouth structure. I don't know. Magellan would have been warden around now. Also, unless there's some reason that the world government or Dragon would want to keep that information a secret. Yeah, but why would they? Why would they keep it? I mean, I understand why Dragon would keep it a secret if his son was born from Amazon Lily, because he doesn't want people coming after his kid. I get that. But I feel like it would just be interesting for him to send Luffy there during the time skip. Because that would mean Kuma knows. That would mean Kuma knows that Dragon had a kid and that the kid is born of Kuja. I don't know. I love the theory, though. This is cool. It's giving me things to think about. Elves also said it would be very interesting if it was Magellan on the wiretap with the teeth. Eva and Inazuma are in prison right now. Right. I mean, that even got clarified from Dragon, that Ivankov and Inazuma are already gone. At this point, they are already in Impel Down. And Gilgamesh said, was Shiryu a warden or a vice warden? Well, he's vice warden now. He got demoted. And the warden is what's it called? Hannibal, currently. But I think he was, well, because Hannibal's the head. At the time, he was vice warden, and Magellan was warden. So I don't think Shiryu would have been vice warden. Shiryu was head jailer and had a different role. But Shiryu was jailed because he was killing too many people, wasn't it? I have to go back. I love Impel Down. I got to go back. I'm forgetting like what exactly everybody's titles were. I know the whole thing was that Shiryu needed to be locked up because he was too devastating and he was too scary. He was torturing prisoners and exactly mangling them every single day. Right. I think you missed super chats from Him Smoke Sanji and Sylvan. Let me take a look. Sylvan super chatted and said, I love the little box that Kuma holds Bonney in. No, I read that one earlier. We talked about that a little bit. And then we talked about speculation for the next chapter. We read Sylvan's. And then what was the other one that I potentially missed? From who? Sanji? No, we read Sanji's as well too. We read them both. We read all of them. We went out of order because I read some of those super chats during the actual chapters, but we got through all of them. Yeah, we got through all of them. Well, what we're going to do, I think we're going to wrap it up here because we're at an hour mark. I see viewers are starting to dwindle. People are getting ready to go over to Randy's stream. So I just want to say thank you once again to everybody who came through to the stream. Thank you once again to Uplift Desk for sponsoring today's stream. And we will be back next Sunday at 8 a.m. for One Piece 1100. I am super duper excited for the next chapter. I do think something really, really good is going to go down. I'm standing by what I said previously. I really do think Kuma's going to arrive on Egghead Island. I think that's how it's going to end. So thank you once again, everybody, for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, everybody.